Hello, everybody, and welcome to Enjoy English. My name is Shane.
My name is Bernice.
And welcome back to day 2 of Ask Your Doctor to Prescribe Sweden. So what about Sweden? What makes Sweden so great? Why do we want a prescription to go see Sweden? Why should we go to Sweden? That's what we're finding out all about.
没错
Right? That's what it's all about. So let's find out what more Sweden has to offer. We found out they have lots of nature.
是
Right? Maybe there's more.
数不清 countless nature.
Countless pieces of nature? Countless places that are natural? Yeah, you can't count nature, sorry. But it is countless. Yes. By definition, by the word nature, you can't count it.
You can. 对，其实 nature 是不可数的，所以 countless 嘛，对，无数的。
Is that a joke? I'm not even sure. Okay, let's get into day 2.
好的，我们就马上来进入这一个医生，请开给我一份瑞典处方的 day 2 课程。
Okay.
Ask your doctor to prescribe Sweden. The Swedish Prescription Project also features a document that looks like a note from a doctor. At the end, scientific studies are listed to support its ideas. It suggests activities that travelers can do during a trip to Sweden. People can regain their energy through forest bathing in Swedish woods. They can also enjoy physical activity by biking along beautiful trails. At night, they can sleep under the stars in the cool countryside. There, they can enjoy the fresh air and get away from light and noise pollution. Some Swedish habits can also help travelers enjoy a more relaxing vacation. One is fika, a popular tradition of taking a break with coffee, snacks, and good friends to enjoy a sense of connection. Another is lagom, which means having just the right amount, not too much and not too little. This idea encourages balance in daily life, such as shopping, relationships, and work. The Swedish prescription also encourages exploring historical places or museums to better understand Swedish culture. It further suggests attending music festivals to experience the country's lively music scene and lift one's spirits. The Swedish prescription shows how spending time in nature and living a balanced life can help people feel healthier and happier.
All right, continuing the reading, the Swedish Prescription Project also features a document that looks like a note from a doctor. Okay, so as part of this project or this advertising, I use this word campaign before, it features a document. So a document is like a piece of paper or something that looks like a note, right, from a doctor, right? And it's basically... It looks like a 处方签, right?
Yeah.
And it will say on there something, and then it'll say Sweden. And it's like prescribed to go to Sweden. Okay.
对，所以它这边的这个 note 其实就是一个 document， 也就是我们刚刚讲，它就是一个 prescription， 就像医生写给你的一张便条纸嘛，那种感觉，对不对？他就说了，这个所谓的瑞典处方的这样的一个计划呢，它同时也，所以 also 它有一个特色 features， 以什么为特色呢？就是呢，你很像呢拿到了一个 document， 刚刚老师讲的 document 就是一份文件，可是这个文件看起来呢，不是我们一般就是的这种所谓的制式化的文件，它看起来就像是从医生那边拿到的写的一个处方啊，或者什么诊断证明书啊，这样子的。
Right, okay. Continuing. At the end, scientific studies are listed to support its ideas, right? So, like we were talking about before, this is stuff that is based on science. This is not just Sweden just making it up and lying to you. They have lots of nature there. And nature, you know, it backs this up, you know, like by who? The WHO, or the World Health Organization, they say that it can really have these benefits that will make you feel better, right?
对。
Okay, so they use scientific studies.
对，所以我们刚刚说的，它不是假的文件，这个文件就是真的。就是说呢，它在这个文件末 at the end， 就是你看完这个文件最底下面的时候呢
They list them.
对，它下面有条列出来了一些 scientific studies， 就是真的是有科学的一些所谓的研究啊，它把它列在这个最下面，被列在下面。那为什么要列出这个科学研究？就像我们在 Day One 有讲，它有很多很多 countless。Piece of nature, OK 那所以呢，这个时候我们就知道，哎，原来是这个样子。它真的有这么多的，不管用数据也好，或者像这边用所谓的科学研究也好，它就是要来支持 support 它的 ideas， 它的这样的一个观点。
Okay, it suggests activities that travelers can do during a trip to Sweden. So also part of this project, what they also are doing here is suggesting to us, not only giving us the scientific benefits, but then giving us suggestions of things that we could actually participate in while we're there. Like, for example, maybe hiking in a mountain or something like that. That could be an example of one of these suggested activities.
没错，因为它实在有太多的这些我们刚刚讲大自然的这些景观啦，或者是刚才的一些地方啦，什么湖泊啦等等的，所以呢，他这个时候就讲了，它 it 就是指前面这样的一个处方，就是医生开给你的这个 document， 这个 document 就建议说，这边的 suggest 就真的是建议了，他建议说呢，哎，你可以做一些活动。那这些活动是怎么样的活动呢？就是如果今天你真的到了我们的瑞典，然后你是我们的旅行者嘛，哈，那你在这个旅途之中，你可以做哪些事情？所以它确实呢就有这样子的一些推荐。
All right, so let's find out what kind of things you can actually do there.
Yeah.
Okay. People can regain their energy through forest bathing in Swedish woods. So here's an activity. You go there and you forest bathe.
OK，
So I imagine that just means lying down or resting or relaxing in a forest. And it's not literally bathing where you're using water to like clean yourself. No, you're just in the forest. The forest is like the water that bathes you, and you get bathed in nature.
对，所以刚刚老师有讲那个 bathe B-A-T-H-E， 这是它的动词。OK， 好了，所以他就说人们呢可以 regain， 什么是 regain 呢？就重新得到或者恢复啦，你就可以恢复你的 energy， 恢复你的这个精力。那你是透过什么样的方式呢？就是你可以到森林里面来做这个森林浴，然后是在他们这个瑞典的这个森林里面。
Okay, they can also, people who are hoping to get this prescription and go to Sweden, they can also enjoy physical activity by biking along beautiful trails. Now, a trail is a road that is in nature, like in a mountain, for example. We won't call it a road because it's usually too small.
没错。
It's meant for either walking on or maybe even a bicycle. Could be a motorcycle, but usually we're talking about hiking or walking, right? And we call that a trail.
Yeah， 对，所以刚刚老师解释的 trail 呢，因为它是比较狭窄的、小小的一个道路，所以它通常就是我们讲山间那种小道啦，哈、所以说这群人呢，刚才我们讲了需要瑞典处方签的这群人呢，同时也可以享受我们的physical activity， 就是我们讲的一些体育的活动啦。那你怎么样去享受呢？哎，你就可以骑着你的脚踏车，然后 along 沿着它一些非常漂亮的这些小径呢，然后来骑脚踏车。同时呢，就是也可以享受一下。
What else can they do? Let's
还有
find
呢
out. At night, they could sleep under the stars in the cool countryside. Sleep under the stars, out in nature, in the countryside. So a countryside just means far away from the city.
没错，
Right? When you're far away from the city in a more remote area, an area that's not close to a lot of people, a lot of buildings, we call that the countryside. And sleeping under the stars, like, how beautiful would that be?
是的，在星空底下睡觉。
But I thought Sweden's pretty cold, though. It must be
I'm not sure.
Maybe
I think
in the
so.
summer it's nice.
Yeah, must be colder. Yeah. OK， 好，所以晚上一定是更冷的嘛。但是你当然也不可能非常的冷，然后你跑去外面。
It does say cool.
对对对，就是因为他是
countryside.
讲酷而已，对
Yeah.
他没有用到 cold。
Cold，
对，好，所以他说在夜晚的时候呢，你也可以选择在这个乡村，就是你要到比较偏乡的地方去，然后它的星空底下入眠，真好。
Okay, there, meaning where in the countryside?
Yeah, in the countryside.
Sleeping under the stars. They can enjoy the fresh air and get away from light and noise pollution.
对。
Right? So pollution just means things that are introduced into the environment to make the environment not clean or to make the environment worse in some way. So when it comes to like our ears, if there's too much noise, we will call that noise pollution.
Yeah.
So an area we assume if it's in nature, it should be quiet. If you introduce this noise does not sound good. It's too much. It's like pollution.
没错。所以呢，接下来就说 there， 就是我们刚刚讲了，你在这些乡村的地方呢，这些星空底下呢，你在那边，当然你可以享受那边的 fresh air 这个新鲜的空气，而且它也是一个很好 get away from 叫远离，你可以远离呢这个两样东西，一个就是光，然后第二个就是噪音的 pollution 噪音的污染，因为我们知道乡村的地方它的光线就比较不像在都市区，在这个 urban areas 它是比较充足的，所以呢在这种 rural areas 它就是比较 rural urban 是 urban 好，在这个地方呢你就可以这个远离这些光跟噪音的污染。
Yeah, and you also air pollution, right? This is, it says that you can enjoy the fresh air. So there, that means that you could also avoid or be away from not only noise pollution, but also the air pollution.
Yeah, 没错。
Okay, let's take a break and we'll be right back.
好的。
Okay, so it sounds like Swedish people must be pretty healthy people then.
应该是吧，
I would
蛮健康
imagine,
的
right?
国家。
I wonder what other habits they have. Let's find out. Okay.
Okay.
So some Swedish habits can also help travelers enjoy a more relaxing vacation.
Oh.
Okay, so they do have some habits that can help people relax, right? And this can help us travelers, people who want to go there, get our prescription to Sweden. It can help us enjoy a more relaxing vacation.
对，所以接下来呢，第二段他讲的就是一些瑞典他们自己本身的一些习惯了哈。我们知道嘛，入境随俗不就这样 ？Do as the Romans do， OK，Do as the Swedes do。好，所以你到了瑞典，它有一些什么样的习惯？第一个，它可以帮助呢这些的旅行者呢去享受一个更加放松的假期。到底是什么呢？
One is fika.
Fika。
A popular tradition of taking a break with coffee,
哦
snacks, and good friends.
，Only good。
Exactly. To enjoy a sense of connection.
OK。
If you have a sense of something, it means a feeling of something. So you'll feel connected to these people that you're with while you're enjoying your snacks and coffee. And this is what fika is all about.
对，所以 fika 是非常简单的一个方式。
Yeah.
就是说呢，这个 fika 到底是什么呢？很简单，就是它是一个但是很受欢迎哦，而且它是一个 tradition， 一个他们的传统。就是呢，你可以 taking a break 啊，你可以休息一下 with。就是用什么东西来好好休息？第一个就喝喝咖啡啦，吃吃小点心啦，跟你的好朋友们。一般来说，但是我们出国，我们都想要遇到一些不一样的人。好啦 ，anyway， 他是要跟好朋友。
It sounds a little bit like 下午茶, right?
对对
Like
对，好像就是下午茶，
afternoon
只是
tea.
到瑞典去喝而已。
Yeah,
对
but here, I don't think time matters. You can do this in the morning.
Oh,
you can do
okay.
it in the evening.
对啦，
You
对啦。
can do it whenever you want.
对
That
啊，
would be
因为你不用工作嘛，就不一定要下午喝，你要一大早起来喝，很晚喝，随便你就是选一个时间。
That's right.
总之就是喝喝咖啡，吃点点心，然后跟你的好朋友们，大家一起去享受那个什么样的感觉呢 ？A sense of connection。我们知道 connection 本身就是两个人的连结感或亲近的那个感觉，所以就是你跟你的好朋友相聚的话，就会有享受那种陪伴的感觉。
nice. Okay, what's another?
Yeah.
Another is lagom, which means having just the right amount. Not too much and not too little, right?
恰到好处，刚刚好。
Not too much, not too little, right? just having the right amount. An amount is just the quantity of something.
没错。
Right? So you're going to have, it depends on what you're talking about, right? They're not saying it for any specific thing.
Yeah,
It's
right.
probably just in life in general. It's about kind of having balance, I think, is what it's about, right? Yeah.
对，所以第二个其实这个 lagon 呢，就有点像你要平衡，你不要有太多，也不要有太少这样子的那个感觉。那当然这边他并没有解释是说你是从事什么活动，或者是吃东西或喝东西，不要太多太少。总之就是什么东西都是刚刚好就好了。所以这边就讲了 having just the right amount， 就是刚刚好的分量，不会太多，也不会太少。
Yes. This idea encourages balance in daily life,
Yeah.
such as shopping, relationships, and work.
OK，
So this situation applies all over things, you know, even with shopping. It applies even in your relationships, even to work. It's about balance.
真的太难了吧？Shopping 怎么可以刚刚好呢？当时要刷爆啊，刷爆老公的信用卡呀，怎么可能刚刚好，对不对？难得去瑞典一次，不刷爆是不行的。OK， 好了 ，Anyway， 他就是说你不可以太多，要刚刚好哦，刷到刚好爆。这样子也是要
Okay.
刚刚好
Okay.
对不对？
刚好报, yeah, sure.
好的，所以这样的一种理念就可以鼓励呢，大家在生活里面可以保持平衡。那比如说做些哪些事情呢？例如你要去 shopping 啦，你要保持你的人际关系啦，或者是工作。
Okay, let's take a short break. We'll be right back.
好的。
Okay, continuing along.
OK，
With the Swedish prescription, of course. The Swedish prescription also encourages exploring historical places or museums to better understand Swedish culture. So part of what they're telling you to do, if you're going to go and get this prescription, what else should you do while you're in Sweden? It says that one important thing to do is to go to historical places, or two important things, to the historical places or museums.
Yeah.
Right?
Cool.
All right. So, okay. So the key here is so that you really understand Swedish culture. Because by understanding Swedish culture and being more like Swedish people, we will be healthier.
没错，所以这边的第一个句子就是跟大家讲的，我们要怎么样？要了解到这些瑞典的文化，你了解的越多，然后你越接近他们的这一个中心的一些想法，你才知道说哦，为什么我要跟瑞典人一样这样的生活？所以他就讲了这个瑞典处方呢，同时也鼓励大家呢，你要去探索他们瑞典当地的 historical places， 或者是呢，你就直接去他们的博物馆啦，这样子呢，你就可以 better understand， 本来是 to understand something better。好，那这个 better 是一个副词，所以你就可以更加的去了解这个瑞典的文化。
Okay. So not only that, it further suggests attending music festivals to experience the country's lively music scene and lift one's spirits. So if you're going to go to Sweden, of course, what they're trying to do is telling you what are some of the things that make Sweden such a great place to visit, and why, and these things that they're going to be telling you about are going to somehow make you healthier. Well, one is attending music festivals.
Yeah.
To attend means to join,
Yes.
or to be part of, right? And usually you'll probably pay a ticket and go to one of these festivals. Maybe they're free. I don't know. But it's supposed to, the health benefit is to lift your spirits. Now, to lift one's spirits means to make you feel happier.
是的，对，因为我们在 Day One 一开始就有讲了嘛，当你觉得你 down， 你觉得心情沮丧的时候啊，所以当然它又这个 it 就是指这个 Sweden prescription 这个处方签呢，它又更进一步了，就是说，哎，上面我其实已经讲了很多，但是我再给你更进一步的一个处方，就是我建议你呢，记得 suggest 后面要接 ing。我建议你可以去参加他们当地的一些所谓的音乐节，因为它的音乐节呢，你就可以去体验瑞典这个国家该国的一些所谓充满活力的 lively music， 就充满活力的这些音乐 scene， 就是他们的音乐的这个场景音乐圈，你可以看到他们发生什么事情，并且呢，也可以去提振我们人们的心情。
Nice. Okay. The Swedish prescription shows how spending time in nature and living a balanced life can help people feel healthier and happier. So basically, the Swedish prescription is just this is how things are done in Sweden. And because we have all of these things in Sweden, no wonder why our people are so healthy. And if you want to be healthy and and feel relaxed, calm, have your spirits lifted, just be in better health in general, you should come to Sweden. This is their prescription. This is their advertising.
没错，所以他们今天要宣传的，他们今天要这个促销出来的东西到底是什么？他就讲了，其实真正瑞典处方呢，它表现出来的就是2件事情。第一个 ，how spending time in nature， 在大自然里面去度过你的时光。然后第二个呢，就是你要 living a balanced life， 你的生活应该是要很平衡、很平均的去生活，因为可以帮助人们感觉到更加的健康，而且也比较快乐一点。
So, are you thinking that Sweden sounds like a place you want to put on your list
Yes,
of places
I think
to go?
so.
I've always wanted to go to Sweden.
Oh.
I've traveled all through Europe, but I never made it that far north.
对，我也没有。对，
Yeah.
老师就说他欧洲都去过，就是很少走到这么北边的地方去。
Yeah, but I've known quite a few Swedish people, and I do like their character.
哦 ，OK，
I do like their personalities.
Okay.
And they do seem to have a pretty good outlook on life.
OK， 所以老师觉得说他蛮喜欢他们的人的一些个性啊，因为他觉得他们确实在外表上面看起来，他们觉得是不错的。
而且他们的看法就是like towards
想法
life.
Yeah.
Towards life.
对，
right?
对于生活的一些观点或想法。嗯
Okay, well, that's all the time we have for. Hopefully, you learned a lot about Sweden, and maybe now you want to go. It gives you a place that you can go and better yourself, basically, become a healthier person. Who doesn't want that?
对啊，如果能够成为一个更健康、更快乐的一个人，那为何不选择看看？不要吃那么多药，不要用一些什么传统的方式，可能去瑞典是真的是一个不错的选择。
Cool. All right, we'll see you guys next time. Thank you for joining us. Bye-bye.
Bye.